I'm just going to read about my incidents with this person. My second job ever, I showed up. I expected to be greeted by the full team, leaving me confused as to why it was just you. You made excuses as to why you weren't there. Statements about this being your world was often made, and we had a meeting and you discussed your expectations of me. You mentioned you were tired of working with difficult people. You made it a point about moving forward if someone became too difficult. You make mention to others how they regret losing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, something you continue to reiterate and drill in my head over the next few years, therefore leaving me to feel obligated. There was an instance during this time that you took me to a back room and insisted on helping me into the costume or outfit rather than having me do it myself. You had me stripped down to put the outfit on me. A decent man wouldn't go in there with me and try to put this costume on me. They would have allowed me to do it myself, but you made it seem like you could, that I needed help. And me not knowing you, me being somewhere far away from home, first time traveling on my own, I felt obligated. You took advantage of the situation. In the past, there were instances when we stayed with you in suites, with your room being separated and us being on a pull-out couch. This was not the case. The couch wasn't pull-out. It actually wasn't even a real couch. It was merely for decoration. You then get into the room and you begin working. I'm sitting on the couch, feeling uncomfortable. And you say, I can see if it's a pull-out couch. I reply, it's not. I already checked. Nothing else is said between us. There was no offer to book me another room at the time, and I wasn't aware hotels were able to provide a cot. Mind you, I've only ever traveled with this person, and we never used a cot, so I didn't know that was a thing. I knew what was expected of me at this moment. Due to the couch looking like a prop and me not wanting to sleep on the filthy floor, I got in the bed. Again, big mistake. Another regret. I was terrified to even ask for another room because you talked about how models were always spoiled and that people used you. I never wanted to be like that. Although I was uncomfortable with the situation, I had no legitimate reason to distrust you. I promise I won't touch you in your sleep, and if I do, just kick me, was the last thing you said to me before you turned the lights out. I never shared a room with you again due to new employees. Why didn't you kick me out of your bed? Why didn't you kick me out? If that's the case, you allowed me to, oh my God. I was offered an assistant position multiple times, and when I first started working for this person, I turned it down because I didn't want to travel and I wasn't getting paid, and for some reason my mindset wasn't, I would be getting paid once I accepted this offer. It was just like, I'm not getting paid, I can't keep doing this and not getting paid. And eventually when I did get paid and the assistant position was offered to me, I knew what it consisted of and I turned it down. I said, hell no. I was put in the situation once and I never wanted to be put in it again.
It started to become like if we didn't find a naked model, a model that would get naked or a model that would shoot, we would be treated very badly, or I would be treated very badly. It was like, you better find me a model to shoot naked or I'm not going to be happy. I had to sit next to him on the airplane. I had to ask permission to call my family. I had to ask permission to use the restroom. I had to ask permission to order certain items off the menu. Jason's a very controlling person. He kind of dictated my every move constantly. I mean, even if we were on the road and we were driving and I tried to put on my headphones to take a nap, he would say you're not sleeping if I'm driving and everyone's staying awake in the car. And if you're hot, because he would run the heater a lot, and he'd say, if you're hot, then take something off. And I would say, can I get a salad, like a $6 salad? Mind you, I'm working 20 hours, 18 hours, 16 hours, the whole day for him, running around, carrying his bags, second shooting, production imaging, scouting models, dressing models, it was like, you can't give me a $6 salad, and every time it'd be a comment you're more expensive than my triplets. And dang, Joyce, like $6. And I'd be like, are you kidding me? You know, like I wanted it so bad, you know? I mean, I know a lot of you out there, you're photographers and you want it so bad. You know, like I didn't want to be famous, but I wanted to. I just wanted to make it as a photographer, you know? So I did everything. You know, I did anything I could to like stay in his good grace, and it was like never good enough, you know? It was never good enough. He belittled me in front of workshop attendees, calling me a hoochie and a hoe and a whore. The first time I ever met his triplets, he said, "This is Joyce, your crackhead biological mother." And I just thought, what the hell? That is so inappropriate, especially having adopted kids, you know? If he couldn't get a hold of me, he would actually call my parents. And, you know, I'm 39 years old. So I was in my 30s, and my parents would be like, "Jason is trying to get a hold of you." And it's not like he paid me or I was on payroll. It's like, dude, I work for you practically for free. I think I made, you know, the entire almost 4.5 years I worked for him, maybe, and I'm being nice here, maybe $1,800. So it not only started to irritate me, but it started to irritate my husband, because Jason was constantly like wanting me at his beck and call 24 hours a day, and I wasn't even getting paid, and I wasn't even benefiting from it, you know. And I had gone to Jason several times in that year and told him, I cannot make money off of compliments. I am literally wasting my time. You're not fulfilling your end of the bargain. There's so many things that I don't like, and, you know, I can't take this anymore. And then getting with my husband, it kind of like solidified that. Like I had a man in my life who was saying, you know, "Why do you call this guy your father figure when he treats you horrible? He makes fun of you. You know, he calls you a drug addict. He says that you're a wetback and you're a beaner, and, you know, that you're a midget and that you're a whore and that you're a hoochie." There was a model that I had found. She was actually the cousin of my best friend. So she's a beautiful girl, baby, 18 years old. She wanted to be a model so bad, and she was beautiful. She is beautiful. And I decided to go ahead and tell Jason, you know, I have this model that I think you would like. First words out of his mouth, "Would she shoot naked for me?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know, you know, because, you know, that was a requirement. If they didn't want to shoot naked, then he didn't want them to shoot, you know. So I ended up getting a shoot with him, set up at the LA River. I got her to shoot for free. I got fire throwers to shoot for free. I got a motorcycle down there. I set up a whole shoot. I specifically remember this because I was so upset that I got all of this stuff together, and he gave me $80 that day. $80 for working for him for about 16 hours, setting up an entire shoot with fire throwers, models, motorcycles, and he got to film a Sony video with all my hard work.
Getting towards, like, when the sun was going down, getting towards nighttime, I had to change outfits. So this is where it gets hard. I told him, "Hey, I'm gonna go behind, you know, the doors to change my outfits." Because like I said before, we're outside and there's no bathroom, nothing for me to change, you know, go and change. So I told him that I was gonna go behind, like, the car on the opposite side, where, like, he was standing and setting up for the shoot, because he had to bring out lighting, because, like I said, it was getting dark, so he had to switch everything. He was like, "Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna set up." So I opened, like, the 2 car doors to kind of block me from the side and the front, and I was in between them changing. And mid-change, you know, I was naked because I was in mid-change already, putting on my next outfit. comes up around the door, and he touches my butt from the back going to my private part, like kind of like gropes it, I guess you could say, and says, "Good job, you're doing great." Right there, I got the most disgusting chills in my body. I was scared. I just remember turning around and giving him this face. Like, what the fuck did you just do? He walked away.
Let me make this very clear. I do not like, nor do I trust that man. I would not recommend young women to work for him. I find him really creepy and inappropriate, and I won't work with him ever again. I hope that someday he looks himself in the mirror and sees what kind of human he is. I'm living my truth. I hope someday you live yours.
And I like to bring people to places that are just extremely challenging, which is a place like this where we're shooting with, just video lights and, bars where people got murdered. I mean, we're at the Moundsville State Penitentiary. We've done the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum 3 times. This is our first time here. And, and that's also very representative of the way that I shoot. When I shoot in crazy places. We do crazy things. I'm about 10% insane. I remember walking into a place kind of like this, where it's really dark, and I thought there's no way the pictures are going to come out, and then we would get the pictures back from the developing, and to see it come alive, that really is what triggered photography for me, and it was also a good way to pick up on girls in high school.